Good evening, I'm Shiniqua Robinson, and here are some of the top stories we have for you tonight. Major arrest early this morning on St. Croix, a gift for the VIPD, and we visit two St. Croix schools, one in the east and one in the west. These stories and more are coming up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, the VIPD held a major press conference in the Aradias housing community earlier today. News Channel 8's Wes Malls has the story.
Wow, what a press conference I'm going to take you to. First of all, behind me here, you see a special ops police department van. It's a Winnebago. We are here in Ario Diaz, one of the troubled housing communities on St. Croix. But besides that, we had major arrests overnight, early this morning, involving at least 3 suspects in Estate Richmond, D. Hamilton Jackson housing community, and also JFK housing community. Let's go right now to Police Chief Chris Howell.
Utilizing the Special Operations Bureau, K-9, and the Anti-Gang Unit, they began conducting surveillance on these individuals in the late afternoon yesterday. Approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, they executed the first of these arrest warrants, or search warrants, and they hit a home run because their 3 primary suspects were in the residence that they hit to begin with. So the surveillance obviously paid off. As the commissioner alluded, upon making entry into the residence, one of the individuals who was armed with a firearm held that firearm in his hand, contemplating whether he would use it against the police or not. And after being ordered numerous times by the officers to drop the weapon, he did finally comply, drop the weapon, and he was taken into custody without any further incident.
Let's go right now to Police Commissioner Novell Francis on this morning's early raids.
There was some arrests that was made just this morning, again, in several of our housing communities. And we're talking about our police officers going in and recovering individuals with firearms. These individuals with firearms, again, they don't want to part with these firearms. And certainly, in one case this morning, we had a situation where this particular suspect that was arrested had this firearm in his hand. And if it's not for the good work of our police officers, for the patience and careful action, we could have had a serious incident that happened this morning.
Right now, let's go to Melody Rames so she can identify the suspects. They were picked up in that early morning raid.
I'm going to give you some specifics about the persons who were arrested. First, we have LeVar Pogson, also known as Bogsy. That's Bogsy. He lives in D. Hamilton Jackson Terrace, and he was charged with unauthorized possession of a firearm and possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute. And he was held on a $35,000 bail. These arrests happened early this morning, like about 3 a.m. this morning, when our Criminal Investigation Bureau, Major Crime Bureau, Forensics, and other officers went out. The individual is also 25 years old. The next individual, his name is Dwayne Woodrup, aka DMX. Arrested at the same time and date. He's 28 years old. Lives in the JFK housing community. He was also arrested for possession of a controlled substance and unauthorized possession of a firearm. Bail set at $35,000, and we do anticipate additional charges to be brought to this person and the other 2 suspects that we have. The third person is Roy Henry Jr., also known as Uncle Roy. He's 28 years old. He lives in Estate Richmond. He was charged with unauthorized possession of a firearm and possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute.
Okay, there you have that. I want to give you a heads up that more charges could be pending on those suspects that were picked up earlier this morning. And now I want to take you to the Special Operations Virgin Island Police Department van, as the officials now are taking the media and members of the housing community and their sponsors through that van. I have to tell you that about 20 to 22 officers could fit in that van at any time. Booking procedures. They wanted to thank the sponsors for equipping the van and mechanics and so forth. So with that, let's go to Police Chief Chris Howell about this specialized police mobile unit that will make our housing communities and our entire territory more safe.
This vehicle has the potential to be used for a number of purposes. I suspect in the coming years you'll see it used at Festival Village, of course Agriculture Fair, and other events such as those. But also we see the need to use a vehicle like this during saturated patrol. It can drastically make our job more efficient when we're out there in saturated patrol. For instance, if we have an arrest in Christiansted, typically we'd have to transport that arrestee all the way to Frederiksted to book him. The vehicle's been equipped with a mobile booking unit, so we can actually book in this vehicle. We can lock down prisoners in this vehicle and not tie up officers' time, and basically take the booking to the prisoner and not the prisoner to the booking.
And now here's a sponsor. You probably know him from the commercials that we run. His name is Noel from the hardware store. Let's go to Noel right now about what this means to the community.
I would like to say, I feel very confident that the VIPD will continue to make our streets safer and make living in the Virgin Islands safe for the citizens or for the residents and for visitors alike. And I'll say kudos to the VIPD department. Thank you.
And finally, on this issue, on the special mobilized police unit, let's go to Police Commissioner Novell Francis.
I'm extremely excited by this display this afternoon. As we talk about community-oriented policing, it takes a full circle, obviously, to achieve this. And today I think that we have gone a complete circle, and we're happy to do this rollout here this afternoon.
Well, there you have it. Now you're caught up on a couple of things. Most important, major arrests, major search warrants in our community. JFK, Estate Richmond, and also Hamilton Jackson as well. So I have to tell you that the police have been very busy, and now you can look for this working with you 24/7. It's a funny thing. People really aren't acting up this afternoon like we see hostility on a normal basis here in Arroyo Diaz. I believe our housing communities will be a lot quieter and safer to live for everyone. Well, with that, have a great weekend. Keep safe, keep well. In Arroyo Diaz, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thank you, Wes. The students at the Pearl B. Lawson School got a chance to hear from some of their local heroes earlier today. Here's Wes Smalls with more.
We're at Pearl B. Larson, one of my favorite schools, always a win-win situation here. And I'm here with Lamar from UMB Soldiers, also Counselor Hewitt and Principal Moorhead. And it's all about a celebrity basketball game that's going to take place in about an hour from now. But more than that, earlier this morning, the UMB Soldiers musical group was mentoring the children and giving them the do's and don'ts on how to stay on the straight and narrow. Lamar, it's just a win-win situation, and congratulations what you're giving up to the little ones. I understand that one of Koo Francis's sports guys' kids is on the all-star team at Pearl B, going to kick your butt in about an hour.
That's what I heard, but we've been watching some tips from Kobe, so we're pretty ready. We're pretty much ready. Basically, today what we did, we think it was very important to come out to the school. As you know, UMB is starting a tour. It's called Enough, which we want to go to every public school in the territory, and we want to sit with the kids from different grade levels. I was very fortunate to start off here at Pearl B. The kids here were very well behaved, had a lot of cooperation from Principal Moorhead and Counselor Hewitt. We got to sit with the 6th graders, 4th graders, and 5th graders individually, and we were able to touch on key points such as education, raising a red flag against violence, and that's what we want to do. I really want to get the parental involvement with the schools, because what's happening, Wes, is really that's very lacking around here. We need that. We need the parents from home to train these kids up, because we got to get them young. You know, it's real sad what's going on out here, and we want to put an end to that. That's what UMB is all about.
Wonderful. Principal, I'd like to wrap it up with you then. I got to tell you, kudos once again about this school. Pearl B. Larson, you know, along with a couple of other schools on St. Croix. And don't get it twisted. I know we all do what we can, but it just seems like Pro B, year after year, excels. What does this mean to have UMB do this?
First of all, when I saw the letter of invitation from UMB, we jumped on it like white on rice. We were so excited to have them come over and speak to the children. I mean, here at the school, we are concerned about the academics. However, we are also concerned about the whole child, how they do socially, how they behave when we're not around, how to deal with their parents, how to deal with society. We want to grow up to be productive citizens, and that's what we're really concerned about. So this was an excellent opportunity for them to come in, and they were just engaged. And once again, you know, it's all about relationship. They could also relate to Mr. Jacobs, UMB, and they were able to listen keenly for them to be successful in life.
All right. Well put. So thank you very much, Pro B. Larson. I'm happy to be invited here. Lamar, you and your UMB soldiers should be congratulated. And also Counselor Hewitt, thank you very much for spending time with us today. And please, I know it's hard, but get to the Little League games, get to the soccer games, get to the PTA meetings, because it's crucial that you make that communicative link between the home and the school. Have the parents, the teachers' numbers and everything. I remember the worst thing in the world was that dreaded phone call from my teacher to the house that night. I used to sit right by the phone like this. Wrong number, but it didn't work. All right, thank you very much, Pro B. Larson. It's not about me, though, is it? It's about the youth and the future for tomorrow. I'm Wes Small at Pro B. Larson for News Channel 8.
Sex on the Twin Cities next, right after the break.